The second to last college football playoff ranking is out, and the Tennessee Vols are currently the number 7 team in the country, which right now has them at the 9 seed and the first team out of a home playoff spot, currently slated to go on the road to take on Ohio State in the first round. Today, I'm going to tell you why I believe that Tennessee should have been ranked above Ohio State using the committee's own logic. Hey, it's Lucas Panzica from 104.5 The Zone and A to Z Sports. So, Tennessee is number 7, Ohio State number 6 in Tuesday night's rankings. Now, these are not final, obviously. Conference championships will happen Saturday, and the final ranking will come out on Sunday. But clearly, the committee views Ohio State in a better light than Tennessee, despite the fact that Ohio State lost to Michigan on Saturday to close out their season, and Tennessee finished strong with that win over Vanderbilt. Now, let me preface my argument by saying I completely acknowledge that Ohio State has a better overall resume than Tennessee. That is not debatable. Ohio State has the loss to Michigan. Tennessee has the loss to Arkansas. Those essentially cancel each other out. Ohio State has 2 top 10 wins. Tennessee has none. Their best win is against Alabama, who currently is in the field, but outside of the top 10 at number 11. No matter what you think of Penn State and Indiana, if you believe those teams are not worthy of being top 10 teams, that's fine to have that opinion, but it's not the committee's opinion. So according to the committee, Ohio State factually is 2-0 against top 10 teams. That gives them a better resume than Tennessee. But here is how the committee's own logic works against them ranking Ohio State ahead of Tennessee. The committee's been inconsistent in terms of how they have reacted to losses this season. Think back to a few weeks ago. Georgia went on the road as the number 3 team in the country to take on a ranked Ole Miss team in Oxford. Georgia lost that game 28-10. It was not close, granted, but Georgia fell 9 spots after that loss from number 3 all the way down to number 12. Ohio State, after losing at home to an unranked Michigan team, fell only 4 spots from number 2 to number 6. Think about this. Notre Dame has arguably the worst loss in all of college football by any of these teams currently in the field, all the way back in week 2 against Northern Illinois, a 7-5 team in the MAC. If that loss to Northern Illinois had happened just 2 weeks ago for Notre Dame, do you think they would still be in the top 5? I tend to think not, because the committee would have reacted to that loss and dropped them. But they are in the top 5. Why? Because that loss to Northern Illinois feels like ancient history at this point. It was months ago, and Notre Dame has looked elite since then. They should be in the top 5 for how they have played since that dreadful loss. Ohio State should be penalized more for their loss to Michigan because it's the last sample size they have put out there. Recency and how a team is currently performing absolutely should matter and has mattered in the past to the College Football Playoff Committee. Tennessee's bad loss to Arkansas happened nearly 2 months ago. Ohio State's bad loss to Michigan happened on Saturday. It is indisputable that just in the last couple of weeks, Tennessee is playing better football than Ohio State. They certainly closed out the season much better than Ohio State against a rival on rivalry week. So, nothing I can say will change it. Tennessee is behind Ohio State. We'll see what happens with the final rankings on Sunday. But the committee has shown us in the past that they will react to losses and drop teams, penalizing them for those games that they should win and they end up losing. They did not do that to Ohio State this time around, and I think they should have.